Yeah. Alright. Welcome to Lord Y Critiques. It's been a long while since I've posted one of these. Every Thursday. This date's not a Thursday. I chose to do it for a specific reason. There are many things that we've been needing to talk about. And I am ready to begin. So get ready. Grab your popcorn, snacks, drinks, anything you want to eat on the way. Because this video will be a rather long one, at best. Now, where do we begin on this list of infrastructure and errors?
Characters. Some of the characters.
Perfect. Some of the characters here rather are only here as
by the way.
LARP bait. The people of modern era would say. For example, Flowery. Flowery is a big problem. Sure, they've learned from episode 1 that rewrite was a problem, and they're now managing that by giving him a moveset. But they're not managing the newer problem. Flowery. Let me guess. You looked at one clip of the man and said, "Oh, cool, he's a flower, he does flower things. I'm gonna make him a character in TR." Bah! What was that supposed to do? You fucked up his appearance morally. You fucked up his animations. He never did a backflip or a front flip or whatever the hell he's doing. He's never done any of those attacks before. His appearance is flawed. He should have a better outfit. For example, like how Sakuya has an outfit, like Tatsumaki. He should have a similar outfit that's advanced. Because they have good outfits for him. You're just not looking in the right direction.
Speaking of outfits, I feel like you should spend more time on detailing the character to get more people to draw in.
Indeed. For example, NMI here, standing right next to me. You just made him a black canvas. He has his own body as well. You just never used it. You just made him a dark character from the below. You gave him his head, but you basically stripped him of his fur and his body. At this rate, you could have just made him a floating head. And people will think that's Apparition Wario. And then, yet again, Flowery's attacks are flawed. They have no resemblance to the character, and people make suggestions. In fact, I've made a suggestion myself on how you can improve him by making a no-holds-barred V2 version. It's perfection. It has attacks that he's done before, like the Girona, Mysterious Winds. Omega Flowery is an actual transformation instead of an attack that does like probably 120. These are good suggestions, in fact, and yet we never look at them. On to the next part, the second part, suggestions. The suggestions are where people come together, make trolls, and pray they get added because they put effort into them. There are so many good ones within there that the admins only look about at once a month. Maybe we could look at best they look at it once a month, and when they do look at it, they never say anything half the time. The one time there was something big going on is when Abra checked, and yet Abra checked it. He checked both Billy Butcher, Soldier Boy, maybe for both, never got at it. And that's fine. We don't need any other person but Homelander running the show of the boys in this place. But that's the problem. The admins check them, yet they never actually get added no matter how many votes they get. Birdley's, and yes, I'm mentioning Baby Cakes Birdley from Discord, and also the Rat King as his other name. He has made an Omega He has made a Undertale Yellow Flowey suggestion that has 71 and higher votes. And yet we've never added it. No matter how many votes it gets, no matter how many people have voted on it, the specific rules for troll suggestions is that the higher votes will have a higher chance of being added. This is technically just looking at it 100% being denied. Add it already. You're making his hopes fall to the floor and kicking them across the wasteland, knowing that they're never gonna come to the game because you have an unfinished Flowey model that has been leaked before. We've seen it, and yet it's never coming because you decide to sleep on half the trolls you make. And even then, there's another character among us that got added.
I feel like there should be some new content more often, not trying to rush, but the pace that you're taking is exceedingly long, and in general, you should be updating your game a little bit more, not 2 months early.
Indeed. For example, the newer characters, John Rod only has one attack, does 900 damage, but he is not as expensive as MJ, who is weak, who has not as much health. Why would we make the most OP character to ever touch TR, other than Protector, who can do higher amounts? Why would we add a character that can do 900 damage in one blow, with only one move, with 2k health? That's just unfair, and we made him priced lower than Michael Jackson. In fact, we priced Michael Jackson. That's illegal. That's illegal. That's another thing. I'm not upset about it. I'm just disappointed in that if we get striked for that, we're done. Now another thing, Roland. Roland's another new guy, 2000. But here's the problem. You rushed Roland. You didn't even give the time to give him animations. I don't know what thing was going through your course when you decide to add a random character named Roland and decide to make him terrible. And you made him that high on the tier list too. He should be an SSS at best. He sucks. No one's gonna buy a man. Sure, he's cheaper than half the thousands of dollars that you put into the other ones, but he's useless. He sucks. He has no animations. His damage is flawlessly weak compared to the modern day trolls.
Work on your animations. The animations on some characters are plain, or in general, just the normal walking stance.
And they never make
taking
sense.
the time and studying the character on how they walk, but that's a little bit too detailed, and I feel like it's okay for the animation to be just normal. Just maybe work on a cool little stand or idols, you know? It's personally a thing I would like.
Indeed. Back to the troll suggestions, there are many that are peak. For examples, I could mention
are not even read, and they should be looked at or glanced at.
For example, I will look at the Noel Holiday troll. We need more Deltarune. We only have 3 characters. Check out how many characters we have that are for the Undertale section. And one of them isn't even added to the game yet. He's been scrapped for a year, maybe even longer. And we have only 3, one of which being nothing like the actual character. There's Noel that we could add. It's great. This person put effort into it, and they're good at it. Gerson Boom. He's the 2nd highest vote compared to Soldier Boy. He might even be the 3rd highest if you look good enough through them. He's gaining votes rapidly per day. He is great. He is the perfect individual. He has his own mastery system to turn him into his 2nd variant through a quest.
Is it only Minos Prime that's in the game?
Minos Prime. No, they have a scrapped character. Well, actually, an admin exclusive named Gabriel. They were going to add Sisyphus, but they never decided to.
Only Ultra player you could play as.
Yeah. They should
Then
add
I would recommend
somebody.
they add more Ultra Kill characters.
For example, Sisyphus Prime. V1, maybe a V2 skin for him. they could add so many others. Like that, I can't remember the one guy with blades for hands. That one guy, I can't remember his name, but we need more Ultra Kill as well. It's the same.
In general, to be honest, we need more content like Deltarune and many other things than just
And Mendy, like,
Undertale. You
like,
know,
for example,
because
we could
can get
add-
Sans like Time Paradox. Yay, it's cool, but we have so many Sanses, it's not even a joke.
And those wiki sands. Sure, what's the way to get them? We don't even know. You didn't even tell us. You gave us a little mystery to solve, thinking that was good when you put wiki sands as one of the lowest sands on the board. What is the point of grinding so very hard to find a way to get wiki when there's no way he's that good? And then we have a broken character like Insanity Sans, who overshadows him in every way, yet is way easier to get. You make the hard characters weak, make the easy ones strong. Why? It makes no sense. And yet, even Sonic EXE, even though he is great, his run move, which is his ultimate in technicality, sucks. It only does 75 damage, and that's if he only catches you before you step into a trap. The traps only do 11, yes. And now with the new update, nerfing those traps to pull them towards him, when you get hurt by a trap, it makes him weaker through his ultimate. You'd think his ultimate would be an insta-kill one-shotter, because that would be worth it, but with a crazy long cooldown. No wonder you gave him a cooldown for only half a minute, compared to Suka's Malevolent Shrine and Gojo's Hollow Nuke. They were all useless. At least, they're all overpowered for no reason. Sure, Malevolent Shrine does slow damage but rapidly over time, but it's a widespread move that people can kind of counteract. Infected Gojo's Hollow Nuke is a buffed version of the normal nuke, from what I've checked. It does way more damage than usual. It's hard to avoid it unless you know how to get away from Gojo. But if the player is so advanced that they know your every move, and you're not a fast character, you're done for. And then there's the Sanses. They do so much damage that it's unbelievable. I remember getting hit with one simple combo by a Sans and I was dead. Speaking of which, I was a character with 1,500 health. 1,300, I'm pretty certain. But I used an ability on it to give it more health.
My personal opinion, I think Sanchez should be debuffed.
And we need more papyruses. There are so many good papyruses out there, yet we only have one. What's the deal with it? Why do you neglect little papyrus so much that you've only given him 2 skins? 2 skins being Underswap Sans and Summer Papyrus. One of them being a legendary, the other being unobtainable. You've neglected Papyrus for so long, it's time to give him some shine too. Let there be more Papyruses than just Sans. Let there be more Deltarune trolls for once. There's only 3, and we need more. We need
in general, instead of going off like anime characters, go more into like game characters.
Indeed. Go from anime to indie, for example.
Like one shot.
Maybe yeah, like Nico. Or maybe Shovel Knight. You could do Shovel Knight. We can't do Mario because then Nintendo would murder us.
Yes.
But we can do so much more with the free will that Toby gives us to make certain characters from his game. He is generous enough to allow us this. And yet we are not taking advantage of that as we need it.
My personal opinion, we should add more horror characters.
Yeah, maybe like add flowers. You've always made an event back then where Flowers would appear and start saying things and start messing with the map, but where is Flowers? You always say he's there, but there's not even a troll.
Very hard quest to get, like VHS Sans.
VHS, a horror element character. Horror Sans, a horror element character. We need more horror sometimes. Maybe we could add a Jun.
Franchises, then just powerful.
Maybe we could even add just Junji Ito trolls. If you don't know who Junji Ito is, he makes terrifying mangas, and there's even a series based off of the things that he makes. We need more horrifying things than just anime trolls.
In my personal opinion, I would love horror things. And I bet some people who would like horror things would like to flex characters from the things they like analog horror, for example.
And for example, maybe the alternate, a Skinwalker, maybe Verity, who you scrapped. And let's not forget, you scrapped Verity. You said something was coming in 3 days, though those 3 days have long since passed.
More like 3 months.
3 years, 3 decades, to the game's end. Yet we have not seen anything of Verity. Sure, I've seen the old model before it went nothing, invisible, scrapped forever. Just like Johnny Joestar, just like Perfect Cell, just like Flowey, just like the rest of the trolls you are keeping behind a fence to not finish. Because you are out of ideas on what those characters could do. We have so much potential, yet we waste it on anime. We wasted on the anime. We could have indie trolls, for God's sake. We could have trolls from even maybe special, worlds, games. We could have collabs that could probably bring us back from the dead, that we're slowly reaching towards. We could have SCPs.
Hell, even that Hello Neighbor.
Yeah. We could even add more EXE characters, like EYX. We could work on Silence of the Grand. We can finish NMI's clothing. We could add Fleetway as a special variant that you get from Soli.
But yet, either way,
Super
maybe just
Sonic.
more Sonic characters, not just Sonic.
Because people have even asked, where's Knuckles? Where's Shadow? We want Shadow and Knuckles as well. And sure, you could toss Tails in there. We don't care. We want that. We want that. We want so
Here's a
many
subject
things.
I would love to talk about if you're fine with that.
Of course, NMI.
The map. Oh, hey, Roy Knight.
Oh,
While we go fight the Roy Knight, I want to mention about the map. The map is just plain. Plain, just blocks, not really that much detail, and same areas as before.
sure, we
Those are still
updated
nice,
the
yes.
old map. But the old map is not that different from the new map's quality. Sometimes I even feel like we picked this up off the dirt and didn't even make this, but that's only my thoughts. Especially, what's with the
My
waifu
personal
banners?
opinion, there should be more interactive things around the map.
Indeed. Sure, there's a bunch of
Yes,
NPCs.
They're
We need
doing it
more
too hard.
quests.
Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness, this is chaos.
Oh, there it is.
In these,
I think it's coming right for me. Ah! Ah! Alright. I think I've been cooked. As for example, we also need more bosses.
Well, I mentioned the map. Address that every time you equip Flowery, he sends you to the middle of the ocean.
It is a bug that we have yet to fix for a solid ever since he's released. Heck, he's had this bug. Yet you don't acknowledge that, Wild. People have used this before. People will have flowery vines in their inventory, not to use them, but to use them when they're in a dungeon. They'll use them while they're in a dungeon after stacking up on so many damage orbs or damage potions and cooldown potions that they'll be untouchable by the time they use that flowery vine, just to go back there and go to the spawn with all their potions. Meaning they come back with all that power just to beat on people so they can bully us without us fighting back. It's gotten so bad to the point where I have to deal with it myself, in fact. This bug. Whenever I see people doing this, people say, help me. And who's that hero in shining armor? It's Imbecile. Speaking of which, as a small advertisement out of the Lunatic Y critiques, Imbecile's show will be coming back. I know many of you people miss the guy, and that's why I have him yet again. Meaning, Imbecile will return. But, with that being said, back to the ass whooping for this night, and back to the critique after. And yet this environment also is stained with weakness. The Cell game.
In
The
my
Cell.
opinion, as a player myself, this game is pretty plain, pretty just retro, rocky. And I would love more detail. More detail, maybe some like, background music.
Indeed. Maybe menu music sounds nice. Sure, that's a small thing,
Maybe a cool
but you
menu,
can do
maybe
it.
get some artists to work on a new menu.
Maybe, instead of making AI thumbnails, you can ask the artists in your community to make one. We have mentioned this many, many times here. Yet, you cannot take that into consideration. We have done it so many times. We've asked so many times, use the people who make art. Use the artist. You never do it. Maybe today seems like a good day to start asking. Whenever you're doing a new update, you could DM an artist and ask them, could they make a game? Or a thumbnail, for the game. And if they comply, then you just get yourself a thumbnail. You could even ping the artist, for crying out loud, to make one. It isn't hard. It isn't difficult. You can do that. It ain't against the law to ping your team. You've done it before. And nowadays, back onto the current subject, what is a Cell game without Cell? Sure, this boss area, the boss cave is just the Cell games arena. Why have a Cell games arena when you scrapped Cell last year? And then there's so many other things I can mention, like the fact that we have a random Forsaken character in here. And no, I'm not talking about the Chanced skin, I'm talking about Noli. I've seen, once upon a time, people using Noli. I saw an admin use Noli. I've seen multiple people use Noli. Why is Noli here? What's his purpose? Sure, he might be a admin exclusive, but why is he even here to begin with?
I feel like you should be serving to the community more than the admin exclusives.
And in fact, I still think
characters
that.
obtainable, make more characters cool, not
And-
high ranked. It's okay to make normal characters that are low ranked.
And you gotta stop putting everything in the limited shop. We're not gonna always buy this high-priced things. Only cavemen will do such a thing. Only Neanderthals. We've seen so many things. In fact, Cain, which was originally my thing.
That would be understandable.
And in fact, what I want to tell you is Cain. My original project to get Cain added, which you have accepted, you decided to make him a cash grab, which is illegal, by the way. I wanted to make him a quest character that we could earn with good, hard-earned work, like I had to work back then. I wanted it to be hard-earned work, where people enjoy, or not enjoy, it doesn't matter which, they do a quest to get the character. The last quest we got was a shitty Travis Scott quest. That was the last thing we got that was a quest-related thing. Then there was Modular Yuji. And now, what are those two? They were unobtainable quests. I still have the quests on my thing, just to note down that these were here before. And these were horrible. The last quests you made were unobtainable quests. Why can't you do that anymore? Why can't you make more quests where you can grind for them? And stop labeling everything as item with their name in it. In fact, I'll show you what I'm talking about. What they want to hide. In fact, I'll show you exactly that. Look at this. Roland item, Kane item, Sonic EC Legacy item, Omnitrix 4 item, John Rod item. They're all item. In fact, let me go up here because I see more. Infected Sukuna item, Infected Gojo item. Why are we labeling it all item? Why? I'll tell you why. Because they've run out of ideas. We need more names for the thing. In fact, I originally told them that the Kane thing could be Ringmaster's Bubble. But they didn't listen to me. Because all they do half the time. And another thing I wanted to notice and wanted to note for the people is they change the names of every attack for the trolls that they add from the suggestions. Now I see you're attempting to make it either different from how it sounded just to piss the people off, or to make it sound like you made it originally when the evidence is right in front of their eyes to prove that it was from their suggestion. Kane's idea, Convoluted Reality, would be a buff. Yes, you did that, but you name it Convoluted Rage. What was the point of renaming something that's almost the same thing as it was before? And then you half-assed the animations of Kane too. I'm upset about Kane a little bit because you ruined him and made him a cash grab that is also illegal. This is illegal, not troll panel illegal. No, this is actually illegal to do. We can be sued for this. And now I'm sounding like Eggman. And Eggman ain't even in the game yet. But another thing, you rename everything that you grab from a suggestion. For example, Baby Cakes Burley, who originally was a recent Flower who was had it. You changed every single name from every single attack just to make it original.
You are trying to have less, how do you say it?
Just show people that you're making it based off of their thing. Inspire the people to make more by showing that you're listening to them. Not that you're half-assed looking at that and say, "Oh, that's cool, let's add it," without looking at the rest of it.
Less thanks to people. You're not showing that they made it.
You're just trying to make
it. You're taking their content.
And then you're making it your own, saying you did it. Here.
Trying to have more of the fame, basically.
Basically taking the credit. And recently back then, when you first said that Flowery is getting a rework, which has not happened yet, which should have been easy, considering the fact that what you've been doing recently with the Omnitrix up your ass. Someone, just because I was happy that he was being added, people didn't believe me. Because how many times have you stolen a suggestion's original design and then changed the names of its attacks just to make it original? People can't believe other people anymore when they make a suggestion. People won't believe other people when it's getting added. I had to deal with that with the guy. And sorry for dragging you along that roundhouse for the guy that I did deal with. But you need to make it actually and just keep it the way it is. Stop trading their names off to make it a new name, just to make it original. And just make it the actual names. Make the items the actual items that people suggested for it. Because I know damn well you didn't make Kane out of thought. You made it out of a suggestion you saw fresh out the troll suggestions. But you didn't look at it. You didn't look at it at all. You just looked at the cover. You looked at the photo and said that's a good idea. You didn't look into it. You never look into it. That's the problem. That's what we're trying to make you see. You need to look at your suggestions more. And when you do look at them, and when you do decide it's time to add one, don't rename them Because that's just saying, oh, I did this. Credit me, not them. Make them unbelievable. At least show people that you care, that they've made it, so that you add it and keep it the same to inspire the other people that want to make one and make you think, finally, I'm getting more suggestions.
No. May I ask a question? Who makes the characters? Is it just YOV himself?
YOV codes the characters and makes their avatars. Abra, I think, also is a part of it.
They should have more people doing that.
Indeed, more people.
Indeed, they should hire more people, in fact.
In fact, Lucas is a perfect constitute. He is the head of staff. He has done so well for this community. So many people have done so good for this community. Yet, you can't involve them.
And if people want to help out the game and and help the development of characters, that would speed up your updating process with more character releases.
Indeed, and maybe then you'll start actually listening to the people, because then you'll be able to make that character and get it done quick.
More time to think after you made a character that just released in a certain amount of time. You have more time to think about it, more to gaze upon the characters that were suggested.
And then, if that admin likes something and they want it added, they could just DM you and you could have a conversation about it. And maybe, for once, you could keep it the same instead of renaming it. For example, yet again, I'm using Kane as our example because I know every single attack that he's had is nothing like what it was in the suggestion. His item, for example, Ringmaster's Bubble, is now Kane item. We had put an ability to make it something more, but now everything is just item. Hell, even Omnitrix V4 is labeled item. We didn't even have to label it item because we've labeled the other 3 Omnitrixes without the word item. From so far, I've noticed every single limited that you've added over time is just become their name and item instead of actually something. And yes, I'm showing the panel. What are you gonna do about this? I'm showing the panel of what you have done wrong. I'm using this panel as both proof to show you need to learn.
Now, again, a comment on this. Let's make sure we have more detail in the game that you made. This game is more detailed than just low-effort maps, low-effort menus in general. Add some jazz into it, add some detail.
Put effort. Make Lord.
Making it look like an old RNG game that died, and currently it is.
It is dying because you don't put effort. You steal these and make it your own work. And what does that do?
Let's head back. Let's jump a little bit far back to the flowery. I have a flowery vine that I just used and teleported me to the ocean.
That can be used as a bug that people use in dungeons, by the way.
Now,
people use these.
I have fallen. I am back in the main lobby. Please head to the ocean real quick.
And I want you to take a good look at this because this has been going on for as long as he's been out for. Look out the ocean.
Now, let me use the line.
Look at him out there. He's stranded in the ocean. And this has been going on for a long time. People use this. You see this? For example, somebody, Simulate, NMI, is somebody that freshly came out of the dungeon after eating so many damage 3, 2, and 1 potions. And he used the flowery vine to get out of the dungeon. Just so that he can use his newfound powers given to him from the damage potions that he drank to basically slaughter everyone and everything on that map. And we haven't done anything about it ever since people have been talking about it too.
It makes you go higher the more you equip it.
So basically, people could fly high into the sky and spy on the server using that.
Guess what? It pushes me towards that.
And sure, it pushes them towards that slowly but surely, but people can use that to just get back without looking.
Cheat their way out of a fight.
Yeah. Say, for example, if I'm getting my ass kicked by somebody, I could just pull out a flowery vine and make an escape. Yeah.
Basically, you try to attack me, I use the vine.
And he's all the way over there.
And you cannot hit me.
And no one can.
And I can just spam this.
And even characters that can fly cannot hit them, by the way. Because nobody that flies has attacks that can hurt people while they're flying. Sure, they can toggle the fly, but as soon as they move off of it, they're falling.
Focus on bugs and characters, I would say.
Yes, the environment is optional. But,
Environment is optional to reel in more people.
and a bigger thing is that you can stop anytime you want. You can stop renaming the names of every attack from a suggestion that you find. You can actually give the items names instead of the name of the character and then
names
the item
that were
below.
ordered by the person who made the suggestion.
And you can give credit to the people that made the suggestions, which will
Maybe you should add credits in the main menu when you add the character.
which will then inspire more people to come to your server and make suggestions, because they'll know you'll give credit.
Taking people's credit is just gonna make people leave.
That's why
Thinking,
we are
"Oh,
so low.
what if I make a character? Oh well. Guess I'm not getting credit for it.
And then, my final thing is the characters from the suggestions that you agreed to add, yet you never do. For example, Silence of the Grand. You technically added him as NMI, but you never actually added him. You never actually brought him to life. We gave him moves. Valued moves. You only saw the image, said that looks like NMI, so we're adding NMI. Yes, you added NMI, but you never added the actual guy that was originally requested. You made something entirely new out of it. Majin Sonic is also a victim of the same rename done work. And then there's Bravery, who has been like that for a year. He's been confirmed since last year, since 2025. And yes, I had to update Bravery to make him up to date and make him actually more better than he originally was from when he was agreed to be added upon in 2025. We need to add these characters because you already agreed to add them. So people will think you're a liar when you agree to add their character. If you say yes to adding their character, they're gonna question you. They're gonna say, are you certain that you will add this character? Because you don't actually add them sometimes.
You were lowering people's faith in believing that the character would come.
Sure, eventually it comes out, but it might not even come out the way they even said it would be. You make them look stupid.
It may not bring any hype to the game.
For example, back then, before Kane came out, I was hyping the people for that my project finally got added in, telling them he'd probably be a quest or something. And then when he actually gets added, you overpriced the guy and made him a limited shop only. And then you made his attacks nothing like what I said, and made me look like an idiot, made me look untrustworthy, made me look like I didn't even know what I was talking about when I said my character was being added.
You have a YouTube channel. Sponsor your game.
Sponsor it.
Sponsor it. Because you have a channel that you can simply show some characters and maybe introduce the game to the world. And guess what? You don't post nothing on it because you are more focused doing whatever you're doing instead of doing things for your game.
Indeed. And now that we've covered all of these, we're signing off with saying we need these done. Because this is unacceptable.
Please give me an outfit.
Give him his skin back. He is naked. And in fact, one small thing. The characters in here, certain characters, you can take off all their clothing if you bought Adonis. Meaning you could make a naked character out of nothing. And then some people
That is
I've seen on
disgusting.
one occasion one person roaming around as nothing but just body, naked, as a Tatsumaki.
I would
Uh,
remove that immediately.
Sure, just make it an ability to give it the characters their avatar defaults. Maybe, for example, you could give your admins the ability to fly, the ability to teleport, and the ability to give themselves their default avatars. Because yes, the admins are only restricted to the panels, but why only the panels? You can give them the small moves that they need to help the people more, or maybe just little help for themselves. But now,
I would
this
like
is
to just
Lord
say
Y.
thank you for watching the video.
Yes. This video is a long ride, and we,
And I hope you've learned something from watching this.
yes, not just
Develop your game
YLV,
better.
but all the people. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on Lord Y Critiques. Toodaloo.